Hey, people. Come on, Samoa is the call. What a shirt. I know, right?
I can search the web.
Whoa, Google, what are you doing, man? Google. Heard that what a shit remark. Haven't worn the Ulster one for a while. I was wearing the Ulster cap all day, so I thought, let's wear the Ulster shirt. Go on. Recovered from yesterday's game. I'll bet just barely. Let's go Samoa. Nice. I am indeed well. I'm early today, thankfully. Yesterday I was late. Today I'm very early, like 20 minutes early. Did I watch the Australia-Wales game? I did watch the Aussie-Wales game. To be honest, I think I probably have more issues with the TMO than the ref, but I just don't like that TMO, so I'm really biased on that one. Michael Checker took the loss well. He seems to know that people are going to ask him provocative questions, doesn't he? This is going to be a good match. And greetings from South Africa. Thank you, Marcus. Greetings from New Zealand. Come on, Manu Samoa. Man, lots of Samoans here. Where's the Scottish people at? I have got my 2 beers. They've been in the freezer, so they're actually nice and chilly today. Scotland and Samoa, man. As I've told you guys many times, my box is full of Samoa and there's a few Scotland, so it seems fitting that I actually have both of the beers on display. All the way from Apia, Samoa. Nice, man. Have you got some Vaidima ready for the game? What time is it in Samoa? Must be late. Come on, Scotland. Glaswegian. Nice. There have been heaps of Samoan bottles. This is not the last Samoan bottle, man. I've got so many Samoan bottles in that box. It must have been packaged by a Samoan ready for me. Yeah, bro. Don't know. Melbourne, Australia. Nice. Who are the Australians backing for this one, or does it not matter? 2 cents. You're going to make a weekly rugby news thingy. I figure I'll do like a update at the end of this kind of round. This is kind of the last game of it's not really rounds, but you know what I mean? It's kind of a natural break. So tomorrow I'll probably do some kind of summary. And then, yeah, we'll see. Kick this fool. Yeah, it's probably about time, isn't it? Gone. Yeah. Amazing game because it's going to mean a lot for the log. This game is vital, isn't it, man? This game, both teams have got an absolute massive load to play for, so it should be fascinating. Score predictions. I believe I've picked Scotland for this one. But I did make the predictions a long time ago before Scotland had their result and before Samoa had their result. So maybe I should do a last-minute change or just stick to my guns. I usually just stick to my predictions because then you get that whole mental thing of do I, don't I? You know what I mean? And then you curse yourself if you change it and you're wrong. So, it's up from South Africa. Hey, Tian. Samoa for sure. I think Scotland will take it. I thought Ireland was Scotland thought Ireland was the only challenge. They're interviewing Gregor Townsend. He's hoping that the game doesn't go down to the final minutes. He wants to have a big lead. Game doesn't start for another 15 minutes, so there's no score as yet. Sneakily streaming at work. Thoughts on the absence of Kinghorn? Yeah, I guess. I mean, they've got Hastings back in this one, so it's kind of shifting things around, isn't it? I'm ranked 20 on the Super Brew. Nice one, man. There's like 700 people on the Super Brew, so that's a good effort. Are you Hannah? I don't understand. Thoughts on Japan beating Ireland? Man, that through this pool, that's like a big spanner in the works, isn't it? That wasn't supposed to be the script, but It's a great thing for rugby. Right now, the New Zealand media coverage is going over the 2 Samoan guys who are suspended for this one. Thoughts on another New Zealander playing for the Samoa team? I don't know. New Zealand and Samoa have got a pretty close connection. Like, I mean, I've worked and gone to school with and have friends, heaps of them are Samoa. You don't even notice in New Zealand, man. It's just like Auckland, especially, is a huge, like, multicultural melting pot. So, yeah, it's kind of not surprising that there's a big connection with Samoa, with Tonga, with Australia. We're connected with just so many of the countries in the Pacific. We're all neighbors, I guess. What do you think of Gareth Mason's reviews? Gareth is very, like, the ultimate kind of fan. I love his passion. Like, I sometimes get people in the comments who are just like, bro, you need to wake up. Like, why you sound so sad? But I'm like, I'm a New Zealander. Have you listened to Steve Hansen or Sam Whitelock speak? For the most part, this is how we talk. We don't do that kind of fiery passion, but Gareth does that, and that's awesome. Samoa upset 13 plus. Laidlaw is the slowest fly half, slowest scrum half on the planet. That's why teams can rely against them. It could be right. Almost all the Samoans is overseas based. I think there's only one player based in Samoa. I guess that speaks a wee bit to the domestic competition. I know nothing about domestic Samoan rugby, so I recognize a lot of these guys from either former Super Rugby or Premiership, whatnot. So it's good they got a talented team. Rugby Forecast has really dropped in the Super Brew. Yeah, there's been a few upsets, and I think Rugby Forecast had Australia by 1, whereas they should have gone Wales, but it was such a tight one. Hey, 2 cents. What's your dad's call sign when he comes on the channel? I don't even think about that. His name is Gary, so we generally call him Gazza. So probably Gazza or Gaz. It's been a bit of a mad round. That is a fact. It has been crazy. But it's good. It's good for the World Cup, man. Absolutely good for the World Cup. Shout out to Gazza. Yeah, I'm sure Gazza is not staying up for this one. It is too late for him. Do you think Wales should have won? You're always on the fence, it seems. Both teams could have won that, honestly. That's on the fence, but it was just like, I know a lot of people talking up the Welsh defence, and they did make a ton of tackles, but the Aussies did breach them on multiple occasions. If the game had gone another 10 minutes, I think Aussie probably would have won, but Wales did enough. On another day, it could have gone the other way, but 2 very good teams, 2 very close teams. Morning. Craig, how are you feeling about this one? Craig, I have the Samoa and the Scotland bottles ready to go. So you guys tell me which one I go with first. Which Japanese upset do you believe was more incredible, 2015 or 2019? I have to go 2015. 2019, they were at home. They've been literally preparing for this moment for quite some time. So to me, it's still 2015, but they're both big upsets. Maybe in a few years, it won't be an upset if Samoa beats teams like that. Japan beats teams like this. Nervous, says Craig, as something. Yeah, I bet. 2015 was more of a miracle. Yeah, I mean, they got Steve Jackson on now. I don't think anyone saw 2015 coming. I mean, not many people picked that result last night either, but it wasn't the first time the night before. So, yeah. Tusi Pisi, your thoughts on his selection? If they don't go with Pisi, who do they go with? Who's the next natural 10? I'm not sure. I don't know enough about the Samoan team. Do you buy the Irish 10's choice to kick it out for a bonus point? That's a fascinating one because you guys have all seen enough games to know that when you're kicking it out at the end with no thoughts of playing on, generally you kick it in the safest direction possible. You kick it directly out sideways. You kick it backwards over your own goal line. You don't try and chew off a bunch of meters. And it seemed like he was just kicking for touch, like normally, trying to get out of the, just trying to exit. So that was a weird kick if that was just trying to secure the bonus point. It doesn't quite fit. What do you guys reckon? I don't know. Sopawanga, unfortunately, he has played for New Zealand. Japan beats Ireland, Uruguay beats Fiji, Italy beats New Zealand next. Put $5 on it, man. See how you go. Is Aussie's coach's days numbered? There's been rumors. Oh, he's done at the end of the World Cup. I think that's happening no matter what. I think it was just a pressured kick that wasn't accurate. Yeah, you might be right. Do you like the All Blacks team against Canada? They've made some changes in some areas, like a whole new front row, but they've kept Bowden and Richie alongside each other. They said they need more time, so it's going to be interesting. Tusi's all right. You guys have been a bit harsh. Yeah, I mean, the guy's just old, and last week didn't have a good night with the boot, but I still like him as a player. Hopefully he has a good game. Your thought on the Karevi bump off penalty? I've read so much stuff about the Karevi thing over the last kind of 24 hours. Some people who are like looking at the letters of the law saying you can't strike a player with your arm, and like the law states you can fend off a player. But I don't think he did either, right? He kind of braced. So he wasn't like striking out with an arm, and he wasn't handing off. So he kind of braced, and then the first contact was the arm, and then he pushed him away. So I don't know, man. It gets messy. I looked at it, and if you guys saw the stream, I was kind of like, that seems a bit soft, because I don't think like he deliberately struck him. Like you've seen some guys do that. They really lead with the elbow and try and take a guy's head off. I don't think it was that at all. So, yeah. Are you from New Zealand? Yes, I am from New Zealand. I agree. 2 cents on Carberry. He fluffed it. No one clears a kick like that. They want to close out a game. They normally kick it out the nearest and 40 meters. Yeah, exactly. That was what was. I didn't understand it at the time. Why did he kick it out? Did he not hear the hooter? And then they said, oh, they were going for the bonus point, so that's why they just kicked it out. But if they're going just to kick it out, it doesn't seem right that you kick long. I don't know. Does France still scare All Blacks supporters? I don't think as much since that last World Cup demolition, and we did them pretty well on their tour here last year. So they're always going to be a team that, on their day cause problems. So probably a wee bit, but not as much as previously. France scares nobody. Yeah, might be right. Do you think more embarrassing, England not getting out of the pool at their own World Cup, or Ireland not making it out in 2019 if it didn't? I think not making it out of your own pool, your own World Cup, is pretty bad. But that was a tough pool. That was always the pool of death. Whereas Ireland going into this one, number one in the world, and that pool probably expected to do quite well. So I would say Ireland need to get out of the pool. I still think they should. Matt Samoa to start for Australia at 10 the next game. How much of a great impact have he had? How much about him? Yeah, and it's interesting because Matt Samoa didn't have the greatest time in Super Rugby this year, but at least in that game, he certainly made a difference. So Liliafano and Foley, neither of them have really jumped at that 10 jersey in the first 2 games. When was the last time a Rugby World Cup team played 3 different guys at 10 for the first 3 games? That'd be interesting. Does it get annoying for New Zealanders being so much better than everyone else? What is annoying is that if the All Blacks, and you shouldn't probably listen to talkback radio anyway, but if you do listen to talkback radio, if New Zealand wins by a little, the fans will generally say, man, we made so many mistakes, we should have won by more. And if we win by a lot, people just say, man, we're too good, it's getting boring now. So you can't really win. I never saw Karevi's press conference, so I'm not sure what he said. I know he said something about going to NRL, right? Joe is here. Interesting to see Scotland 5-point favourites for the Japan game. Well, I didn't look that far ahead. If Japan play loose against Scotland, that would play right into their hands. That's true. It could be an interesting one. It's probably going to be a very important game for the pool. Now, the only guy on YouTube I watch rugby content, you guys hear what happened to Squidge? Yeah, Squidge. His content can't go up at the moment because the World Rugby's lawyers won't let any content up, which is not the official content. And I've said it so many times, that's why I don't use any content from the matches, because essentially you put yourself at the mercy of the people who own the content. Some of them are good about it. Some of them are not, like Sky in New Zealand, and Squidge has had that in the past as well, are notoriously pretty dickish about enforcing the copyright, even if what he's doing is helping to grow the game. But from what he said, I watched his video just before I started this video, that it's not like the social media team of World Rugby trying to shut him down. It's just they've got independent lawyers who just deny every request for any content. So, yeah, crappy situation. Not showing the game. Yes, I try to put not showing the game on my streams because otherwise people show up saying, hey, you're going to show the game? No. Can't you claim fair use? Yeah, but I don't know. It seems like YouTube's thing just, if somebody makes a claim against your content, you're kind of on the back foot, even if it's fair use. So, you can see what Squidge does with the content is adding enough value and changing it enough and only using snippets that he's not just ripping off the broadcast. He's clearly using it in that fair use way, but you're just at the hands of the copyright owner, really. Squidge talked about how the Six Nations talked to him about it and they let him analyze the games because of input. Exactly right. Like the Six Nations were good about it and they could see reason, but from what he said in his last video, he's not dealing with like the social media team. It's just lawyers, and the lawyers have instructions, and they have to follow those instructions, which is no content outside the official World Rugby content. So he has to put it on Vimeo, which I think a lot of people, some people will go across, but you'll always see that drop off because I don't have Vimeo on my phone. So, yeah. National anthems are going on for this one at the moment. Georgia in the Six Nations, Sevens Nations. I think the money factor is a problem for Georgia. New Zealand won't win the World Cup. Springboks will stop them in the final. Could be a thing. Scotland's anthem going on right now. There's another bloke on YouTube who shows the game. He generally posts the next day, but will only show portions of the game for his review. It's not a full game, but there's a lot of the game shown. Who's that? I haven't seen that before. No offense, Scotland, but I really want Japan to go through to the quarters. It'll be huge for rugby. A lot of people want Japan to do well. And I could tell from some of the comments, like when I did a Pool A preview, even just talking about that fact, it was pissing a few Scottish people off, actually. Like, it seems like this constant theme of will Japan beat Scotland? Will Japan beat Scotland? Will Japan beat Scotland? Was just, I guess, driving them a bit nuts. And kind of fair enough if they're just saying it again and again and again and again. I would like Japan to go through. Yeah, a lot of people will prefer Japan to go through. It's just a thing. They're the underdog. Anthems are done. Shouldn't be too long now. And no one is saying anything about Samoa. That is true. The whole pool preview stuff was all Ireland's going to go through top. Who's going to go through second? Either Japan or Scotland. Samoa was kind of forgotten about alongside Russia, so they'll want to prove a point here for sure. Buenos noches. Yes, man. Buenos noches to you too. Please no head high tackle Samoa. Yeah. I don't know who the TMO is. I hope it's not Ben Skeen. Japan should join the Rugby Championship. They have the money factor going for them, which is it's seemingly one of the really necessary components. Like what kind of holds Georgia back from the Six Nations. So, yeah, I think everyone would like to court Japan. But again, the travel factor just gets that much worse. What's your favorite club rugby jersey? Of the ones I own, it is the Jaguares away jersey from 2017. The fabric is just a whole bunch nicer than every other jersey. Are you serious that it's Ben Skeen? Please, no. Tell me the TMO is not Ben Skeen. What culture are you? Whenever I do those surveys, you can tick things like New Zealand European, Pakeha, Palangi, whatever you want to say. Ben Skeen is a joke. Yeah, honestly, like I'm generally not a guy who has a problem with any refs. I generally don't look at a ref and go, "Oh God, not this guy." But whenever I see Ben Skeen's the TMO, my head kind of sinks a little bit. Just dropped you an email. Okay, cheers, man. I'll check that after the game. Ben Skeen, he made me agree with Phil Kearns. I don't like that at all. Yeah, nobody wants to agree with Phil Kearns, I guess. Wayne Barnes is awful. Wayne Barnes, I think, has gotten better over the years, but hey. Hey, mate, if Samoa wins, Scotland are out. Is that really? I haven't actually looked at the maths. My school played a school from Auckland back in 78, did the haka and did a Highland dance at the same time. They were so pissed off that 3 of their players were sent off within 5 minutes. Well, that worked then. Right, Samoa have kicked off, so I will kick off with Samoa. Cheers, everybody. Surprised you don't hate Barnes from 07. I mean, I do think the 07 game was pretty poorly run, as I think most Kiwis do. Every team seems to have that game. Like for South Africans, it's the Bryce Lawrence one. For Scotland fan, it's the Joubert one. So Wayne Barnes for us is that game. But I think since I've seen him then, like I think he really has gotten better than that game. And he was still pretty young at that time. So I won't hold endless grudge. Even Rusty said facing Japan in the quarters would be scary. Playing the host nation won't be easy. One thing I like about Rassi is that guy is class at press conferences, honestly. People ask him dumb questions, he still gives you a pretty good answer. Like, he's got the patience of a saint and is just really well-spoken and respectful, so he's hard not to like, man. I like potatoes. So does Tyke Furlong. I like potatoes as well. Oh, man. Hogg almost got dragged into touch. Man, Scotland have got men over. Darcy Graham's going down the wing. He beats the first tackler. He beats the second tackler. The third guy gets him. Man, they're in the 22. Not like Checker. No, Checker has kind of the opposite reputation. But one thing you got to say about Checker, despite all his moaning, he doesn't kind of hold anything back. Like, a lot of coaches just give you that media 101 answer with no substance. Checker will give you what he's thinking. So, although a lot of it's sometimes like sour grapes. Yeah, oh man, I should be using my glass. I got a World Cup glass. If you guys are on Patreon, you would have seen this glass already. I need to use this. I bought 2 packs of Heineken just to get one bloody glass. I'm an idiot, but still, I did it. The score is 0-0. 0-0. I like Checker. I don't dislike Checker as much as like a lot of people seem to really hate him. You bought Heineken. Why? I bought Heineken because that's the official beer of the World Cup. And if you buy their beer, you go in with a very, 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 very lottery slim chance of winning tickets to the World Cup. So I couldn't bring myself to go to the World Cup with my children being the age they are. But if I won tickets to the final, I think I'd have to go. Chicks played the game, and that for me gives to a different perspective. But he's looking at both ways, and yes, he's brash, but at least he's passionate. He is passionate, man. Like, you look at the way, is Jack Lamb off already? Jeez. If you look at the way he speaks, he is honestly, he's like got his heart on his sleeve kind of thing. He's direct. Man, Jack Lamb only just came back from injury. That's disappointing. Are you from New Zealand? Yes, I am from New Zealand. Scrum. Samoan feed. About 6 meters out from their own line. They will need a good exit play. Counting MP4. With Scotland's form recently, I can see the Samoans overpowering them. Not exactly winning, but being in the fight the whole game. Cheers for the super chat, man. I will give you the first cheers from my official World Cup glass, which I've got a bit too much head on. Thank you for that, man. Cheers to you. And yeah, I mean, Gregor Townsend just talked in the pre-match stuff about wanting to kind of have the game under control long before the finish. I can also see Samoa pushing them, but Samoa will need to start sharper than they did that last game. So far, so good, but Lamb going off doesn't help. Anyway, cheers, man. I appreciate that. Scotland have got the ball. It's 5 phases, 4.5 minutes. They've put a kick through, but it's too big. It's going to be a 22 dropout. Or are they going back for a penalty? I don't know why they got rid of Vern. Wasn't there something about his pay? Was he getting paid a lot of money, or he got offered a lot of money in France and they couldn't match it, or something like that? Scottish fans will know more than me. Oh, no, it wasn't a penalty. It's just a 22 dropout. Darcy Graham has got the ball, and he's decided for the second time today is a good day to run at the Samoan defenders. This time, instead of beating one, beating two, and then getting caught by the third, he got caught by the first one. Scotland need to win this to have a chance to make the playoffs. Absolutely. Must-win game for sure. I heard that Vern isn't a nice man. I haven't heard that one before, but some guys certainly do have that kind of reputation. Whoa. Leoa just did like a soccer-style kick on a loose ball, but it went into touch. He wasn't able to regather. Was that a hand at 4:30? I don't know. I missed that one, man. Do you think Cheslin Colby and Gerhard du Plessis will bring it home this year? Gerhard du Plessis. My brain's going blank on that one. Seven minutes. It's still 0-0. Is your guys' stream ahead of mine? Because I've just hit like 7 minutes and 10 seconds. Oh, Finn Russell just bobbled the ball, but managed to keep it in his hands. Do you get uncomfortable sitting on the floor for so long? Why not use your sofa? I kind of spread out here on the floor. I've got beer, got notepad, pen, controls, computer, microphone. I think it's mostly about the elevation of the camera and the microphone. It's a very basic setup, I'm afraid. How do the bonus points work? You need 4 tries and you get a bonus point. Win or lose, 4 tries equals a bonus point. And if you lose by 7 or less, you get a losing bonus point. So the most you can get for a loss, 2 points. Most you can get for a win is 4 points for the win plus 1 for a bonus point. You're a minute ahead. Good. That sounds about normal. Scotland have won a penalty. 3-0 to Scotland. Okay, he hasn't kicked it yet on my one. I live in South Africa and Cape Town. Mine's at 8 minutes and 30 seconds. Right, mine has just hit 8 minutes and 30 seconds. I bet you sit on the floor with just underwear on. No nudity or even half nudity on my channel. I am fully clothed. $3-0 to Scotland. I have a betting site on one screen that's like 3 minutes ahead of me as the odds jump. Pain in the ass if you can see someone has scored. Craig, the Scottish fan, £3 for 3 points. Man, cheers. Should I be wishing for a Scotland try at that rate? You're too kind, man. Much too kind. He's hoping for a good game, Craig. Shouldn't you be at work, Craig? Have you got the day off? Was it a hard kick? It was kind of a medium to easy kick. Most good kickers should slot that one. That's the kind of kick, if you didn't get it, it's not an absolute sitter, but people would be saying, probably should have got that one. What's the best live game I have been to? I would say Scotland have just knocked the ball on, by the way. The best atmosphere at a game I went to would possibly be the opening game of the 2011 Rugby World Cup against Tonga, because the pre-match stuff was absolutely fantastic. The match itself didn't pan that well out for the seat I was sitting in, but it was still good atmosphere. But also I went to the Ireland-Australia match in the 2011 Rugby World Cup where Ireland won. And I took a bus with my Aussie mate who was in full Wallabies gear, and boy, were the Irish giving him grief. And as a neutral guy and kind of laughing at my mate, I found it kind of hilarious. But that was a really tense game. So I enjoyed that one in terms of a non-New Zealand game. That was a great game indeed. Ireland, England, 2007, 89,000 people. That's a number we can only dream of in New Zealand. Hogg just booted the ball long. He's going towards the touchline, but not out. Oh, it was dropped a bit backwards. Oh, man. It's a bit scrappy. Knock-ons from both sides. I was in town during the Ireland versus Australia game, and it was going off. Fun experience. Yeah, it was fun for pretty much everybody but my Aussie mate. And after the game, I met up with my brother. And remember, my Aussie mate has come to New Zealand for the sole purpose of watching the Rugby World Cup. And my brother's first statement to this Aussie mate of mine, who's literally just come across the ditch and seen his team get beaten, my brother's like, oh, that game didn't go very well for you, did it? My friend wanted to punch my brother in the face, but he refrained from doing so. Amazing self-control. This game is a mess. It's been a wee bit messy. There's been a few knock-ons. It is true. Have a look on YouTube and you'll see why that game was so special. Okay, I can't recall it, so I will write a note. 2007, Ireland, England. Do you remember that time Ireland were about to beat New Zealand for the first time in 5 years, and New Zealand got that forward pass try that was allowed? That was a heartbreak. I remember the game. I don't remember the forward pass, but that could just be my New Zealand memory. Fogging things over. I remember that game where it was a draw. Cruden takes the kick. It misses for New Zealand to get the win. And that's that year when New Zealand had won all of their games. And that was their last game of the year. And they needed this kick to get their perfect record. And they said the Irish guys charged the kick down early, so we got to take it again. The second time he got it. That was crazy. Of course I don't. I know, right? Do you think the All Blacks will put 100 on Canada? God, I hope not. I really hope not. 2007 England Ireland was special because it was played at Croke Park. Ah, true. They got to retake it. It was rigged. Yeah. So glad I didn't get on your stream for the Wallabies Wales. I was not a happy chappy. I can imagine, Ribsy. I can imagine. Oh, Samoa just won a scrum penalty. See what they can do. Favorite player? All time or current? But Wales were fantastic. Yeah, man. Proper game of two halves, so both teams showed some class. Do you think New Zealand will put 200 on Canada? No. I don't think New Zealand will put 200 on Canada. Back the Canadians to keep within that margin. Michael Jones. Yeah, if I'm going all time, Michael Jones or Grant Fox. Definitely. I actually saw Michael Jones once when I was maybe like 17, just crossing the street. And I was still kind of starstruck like a moron. And I just said to my mate, "There's Michael Jones, there's Michael Jones, there's Michael Jones." And he was just like, "Man, play it cool. Leave the guy alone." So if my dad had been there, he would have gone to talk to him. New Zealand keep a clean sheet against Canada. Again, even I hope not, man. I hope Canada get a try. It'd be nice if Tyler Ardron got a try against some of his Chiefs teammates. Oh, Scotland were finally getting some phases. Scotland turned them over, and then was that Richie? He just knocked it on immediately after turning it over. That ball must be really greasy because some of the hands have been pretty average. Hogg's running it. You wouldn't score a lot more than 200 points with no opposition at all. What is the highest ever score in a test match? Is it like 145? I think that was Australia. Humidity seems to play a big factor in these games. Yeah, I agree. That's kind of why you do want the games to have less stoppages in terms of TMO stuff, because then the game keeps moving. The teams get tired. There's more space. You start to see some proper footwork and whatnot. So, yeah. 145 New Zealand, Japan. I felt like Aussie Namibia was more, but I stand to be corrected. It's interesting Spark Sport did not send any of their commentary team to commentate on this game, even though it's the only game on today and there's no games on tomorrow. It's just like the world commentary. It sounds like some South African guy on my feed. Oh, Scotland have just put a kick through. They're like 3 meters out from Samoa's line, but Samoa have done well to retain the ball. 17 minutes gone. It's only 3-0. This game is still anybody's. You'd probably say Scotland have had the better of it. So, to be fair, a lot of it's been scrappy. Aussie holds the record for the highest score. Okay. Yeah, I feel like I heard that fact somewhere before. Scotland charged the clearance down, which means Samoa get the line out throw. So not a bad result. Yeah, Duplessis won the Currie Cup in 2011 with Cheslin Colby. He played 10 before play. Is that right? It's not ringing any bells, but I'm sure I'd know the face. Bro, Zach, why are you typing in Korean? I don't do Korean. I just do Chinese. Here we go. Biggest score in Rugby World Cup history was 145-17, but Australia did 141-0. Okay, that makes sense. So Australia has the biggest win. New Zealand's got the biggest score. Notice a lot of players, says Joe, are bending to the tackle impact. The players seem to be worried about the Karevi incident. That's a good bit of insight, man. Nobody wants to get sent off. Nobody wants to give away silly penalties if they can avoid it. Apart from New Zealand and South Africa, which other teams have impressed you and you think might have a chance of winning it? Man, well, if you'd said that first game, Ireland, I would have said Ireland. They bossed the game against Scotland and looked the real deal. And they looked lackluster against Japan, to put it mildly. So it's hard. England have looked all right, but they haven't really played anyone to really test them yet. I think Australia and Wales both played pretty well. So I still feel like there's multiple teams who could do it. The last 0-0 draw between traditionally top-level sides was between Scotland and New Zealand in 1964. Oh, my Lord. That's a soccer score. I mean, the lowest game score in recent memory for me is Wales-Australia last year, 9-6. That's pretty low scoring by modern standards. I remember when Munster beat the All Blacks 12-0. I have no recollection of that game. That must have been before my time. I do remember something from the early 90s where I think we lost to a Welsh team. I feel like it was Llanelli, but I do not remember. Despite South Africa lost to New Zealand, South Africa, England, Wales are the teams at the moment. It's still really hard to say. It was 1978. No wonder I don't remember it. Because I wasn't born. Scarlets. Were they even Scarlets then, though? I feel like I've seen footage of it. I feel like the team was wearing black, but again, I would have been very young at the time. Any score? Yeah, we could use a score in this game. It is 19 minutes, 41 seconds gone. 3-0. But the commentators are mentioning how slippery it is as well, and that's kind of showing with some of the handling. Team in black would have been Neath. They were known as the Welsh All Blacks. That would make sense. Maybe it was Neath. No, they were Llanelli. I'm there to do some research on this. I've definitely got a VHS tape somewhere from like back in one of the All Blacks tours back in the day. Like when John Kerwin was young. Terry Wright was on the wing. Grant Fox was 10. Richard Lowe. All those guys. Okay, Llanelli Scarlets, they've always been known as, if not colloquially, Scarlets are the franchise. Okay, it was Neath, right. Max Boyce has a song about it. Is that right? New Zealand's weakness is our lack of an ability to set up for a drop goal or slot a penalty at 60 metres. Geordie Barrett has got a pretty big boot. I've never seen him kick a drop goal, but he can slot them long distance. I don't know 60 metres, but he would certainly go close. The accuracy is not there, but he can boot it long. VHS tape, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. That is the one. And then there's the sequel, Blood, Sweat, and Touring. I still have those tapes. My dad bought them, obviously, but still, I have them. I need to get them probably made digital before the tapes like degrade. I can tell you what, I've taken bugger all notes on this game. I don't know what to write because it's all a bit tit for tat. He did against Ireland in November. Ah, yeah, true, man. Joe, you got a memory like a... What do you say memory when a memory's good? A good memory. That it's a crap game. This game is dire. Hence no notes. Importantly, what beer are you drinking? That's a sad state of affairs. Maybe I should just write a note. Game is a bit crap. Neither team is on top. I'll put neither team able to get on top. How about that? That's more PC. Until 22 minutes. My last note was at 8 minutes. Memory like an elephant. There you go. I got a memory like a sieve. So hence why I couldn't remember what a good memory is called. Oh, another knock on. How long is the review going to be after this? At this rate, the review is going to be pretty quick because I have written very little. Yesterday's game, Wales, Australia, I was already kind of at this part of my page, and right now I'm kind of here. So, yeah. Bring out the streaker. This game is dead. Yeah, I wonder what the punishments would be for a streaker in Japan. It'll probably pick up in the second half. Hopefully. How do you think Pool C will pan out? England, France. One side needs to try and slow the pace down a little. I suppose, yeah, if they're trying to do too much and trying to kind of score off every play, it just ends up with this. So build some phases, play for territory, or at least just build some phases. Do you still find you can enjoy rugby games and not think about taking notes and making YouTube videos, or do you not mind? No, it's good. Like the notes are more just because, again, my memory is bad. I will forget what happened in the game, like the key moments. So that's why I do the notes, but I still enjoy the games. Although this one is proving slightly tough, but it's far from the worst game I've seen this year. So... Ribsy, I'm not reading that one out, mate. What New Zealand franchise do you support? I support the Blues, man. Unfortunately. We used to be good, and now we're not. Right, maybe on 24 minutes, as the Samoans have just gone into the Scottish 22, maybe this game is about to kick off. TJ Iwane is running the ball up. He's tackled. Scotland win a penalty and turn him over. There we go. So much for that idea. I reckon it's confusing because both sides are in blue. For failing to find an excuse. Yeah, that thought did cross my mind as well, but it's a very dark blue against a pretty light blue. So if that's the reason, yeah, like you say, it's a poor one, but we'll take it for now. Does Nono still play for the Blues? His contract is done. I think he's not going to play next year. I haven't heard about him re-signing. Watching Scotland is like playing paint or watching paint dry, but that's so not what it should be. They've got such good attacking players. That shouldn't be a thing. Just this game is not really going that way. Is that another knock on? Are you serious? Oh my. This had to be a game on at like 11:15 New Zealand time. I did have a nap today to try and recharge the batteries, but I'm still struggling. This could be the lowest scoring game you've ever seen, Mark. Oh, at this rate, we should get 12 points. You're not even watching the game. I'm watching the handling errors, man. This is so poor. It's not the best. What's the score? It's 3-0 to Scotland. Nothing much is going on. This game needs to be played like wet weather rugby, territory and pressure. Yeah, I mean, even that would be entertaining to see one team really just kind of take control of the game, kick to create pressure, put pressure on at set piece. Saying that, Maitland just went down not his wing with a big line break and then threw the ball to nobody. I think the spectators should get points for this one. Yeah. Remember how the Wallabies came back yesterday in the second half? We hope Scotland to do the same, says Carl. Hopefully this game kind of bursts into life at some point soon. But yeah, I'm not going to give up on it yet. It's only 27 minutes. This game is going to open up wide after halftime. All the forwards will be so knackered. I bet there will be much more space opening up, says Ben. You might be right, man. I just hope so. That's one of the benefits of keeping the games moving when the refs don't let the stoppages happen all the time, when we don't have to stop for the TMOs. The guys don't get as much chance to rest, and by 60 minutes, people are getting pretty tired. There's that space. Did you hear that France and USA might be cancelled? Yeah, I do. I do remember reading something about that today as well. People mentioned it at the stream yesterday. So, yeah, hopefully not. That'd be unfortunate. They even mentioned that the All Blacks one could be slightly under threat. They said in the news today that they're playing at a game which has got a roof that closes, but it's still open at the ends. And if a typhoon really hit full force, it could have enough wind to rip the roof off the stadium. So if it still gets hectic, the game would have to be called off, roof or no roof. The skills in this one on both sides are pretty dire. Scotland were attacking, guess what? Johnny Gray just couldn't catch a ball that was thrown above his head, and he's a tall guy. And Samoa have kicked it to halfway. We will have a line out. All that practicing with soapy balls clearly worked then. Apparently they didn't wash the soap off their hands because it's been pretty bad. Not the best ad for rugby. Typhoon coming could cause a number of cancellations, which would be listed as nil all draws, which could decide a quarterfinal place. Yeah, man, that'd be unfortunate. Can you imagine a team Like if you lost one game against one of the big teams and then the 2 games which you're supposed to get an easy win got cancelled, that would be horrendous. Nobody wants that to happen. You guys are saying try. You got to be kidding me. There's no way a try is going to happen. Nell almost knocked the ball on. Come on. Russell's kicked it up in the air. Hogg's got it out wide. You guys are kidding me. You're still saying try. I don't buy it. Someone's going to knock it on. Oh, they got advantage. Cross kick to Maitland. Oh, you guys weren't kidding. Wow. Whew. Look at you guys. You're going nuts in the comments. Try. Finally, the game wakes up. Good stuff. That's just what this game needed. Not if you were a Samoa fan, for sure. But, yeah. Ribsy with the Star Wars Phantom Menace reference. Nice. We wouldn't lie to you. I must admit, too many of you were saying try for it to be a lie. But I just couldn't bring myself to believe it. And Laidlaw with that assured conversion. 10 points to 0. Gregor Townsend has got the ultimate poker face going on. He's not giving away nothing. Can someone explain to me why the scrum half is taking the kick and not the fly half? Because Laidlaw is a better kicker than Russell, as far as I'm aware. Laidlaw's got a pretty good percentage. We all get the feed at different times, so they all said try at different times. Yeah, my try seemed to be the last one of the lot. So Sparks' feed seems to be the slowest of them all, but I guess that's because we're down here in New Zealand away from everybody. Russell only kicks with the outside of his boot. Yeah, that makes kicking conversions and penalties a wee bit difficult. He does kick sometimes, right? It's not like he can't. He just generally doesn't. Wasn't he in front of the kicker? If they're going to show replays, I'll keep an eye out for it. I can't imagine the highlights package at halftime is going to have much else to show, so we should get another shot at it. I'm using Spark in Auckland and you're 8 seconds behind me. Yeah, that may just be the delay with me getting the feed up to YouTube. But yeah. Spark's coverage for me has for the most part been okay. There were a couple of minor glitches with the early games, but nothing that was a deal breaker. But some people had really bad experiences. Oh, Samoa just went 5 phases and then knocked it on. You guys are saying try again. What? Scotland are still in their own half. I never know if you guys are tricking me or what. Try. I may just be encouraging you guys to say try by me saying try. It's slow ball. Oh, Russell with the little shimmy. Inside ball to Laidlaw. And Laidlaw goes through Tim Nano Williams, whose defense is not world renowned. Wow. Wow. That tackle was terrible. Yeah, man. I mean, they used to sometimes play Tim Nano Williams at 13. And man, he just couldn't tackle for 13. If you can't tackle Laidlaw, something is wrong. Oh, that was bad. But very good for Scotland. Damn. Craig Forsyth is in a much better mood. Cheers, man. I'll finish off this one. There we go. Scotland, 15-0 up. Cheers for that, Craig. You're a champ. Man, how many tries do you see Laidlaw score? I feel like not that many. $17-0. Scotland are looking pretty good at the moment, hey? Smaller guys can be hard to tackle sometimes, especially with some of the rules about tackling. That's true. And we paid $90 for Spark Sport. I only paid $50 because I bought it in May. So I'm kind of glad about that fact. I watch it on KO. My stream is about the same as Spark. If I watch it on Fox, it's way ahead. Okay. At least you've got that option. For us, it's Spark or nothing unless you use the VPN. Well, Mark, in case you don't want to be spoiled with tries of goals, don't stream it, especially for the World Cup final. Yeah, that'll actually be an interesting one. If I do some of the knockout games, especially if New Zealand's involved. I might have to get my dad on some of those knockout games if it's not too late for him. Cheslin Colby is the best example of a small guy being hard to tackle. That is very true. That guy, I mean, Ben Smith's not that small, but he's another guy who's just so elusive to tackle. Man, Hogg has just pinned Samoa back with a big kick. What's my day job? I work at a university. It's an office job, but thankfully I'm on leave at the moment, so I'm still checking my work emails every now and again, but I'm not replying to anything. Drop goal, drop goal, drop goal, drop goal, drop goal, drop goal. Is there by any chance going to be a drop goal happening? It can't be because Samoa have got the line out. Surely they're not going to lose their own line out ball. No, they've secured it. Samoa's got the ball. Tusipisi's just got the clearance away. He found touch. They took it quickly. And Finn Russell, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Oh, my God. Oh, it wasn't Russell. It was Hogg. Holy crap. Far out. Far out. What a kick. At the angle. And he turned around pretty quickly because he knew he got it. Man. This game has come alive, although not in the right way if you're a Samoa fan. Where's my scoreboard? It's just over there, man. I'll write it up after the game. Hoggy on the rampage. Absolutely. Absolutely. Beautiful stuff. Like, we're not that big on drop goals in New Zealand, but damn, that one was nice. That was a beauty. Craig Forsyth, Hoggy. Damn, man, you're going to be broke by the end of this game the way Scotland are going. What a beauty, honestly. Thank you, man. For that, we opened the Scotland bottle. Scotland. And Scotland just won a scrum penalty. It's going all Scotland at the moment. It's kind of pissing me off that this glass is just slightly too small for this bottle. They should be matching. The Heineken glass should take exactly the amount of the Heineken bottle. That's not just the head either. There's still too much beer in there. But yeah, cheers, Craig. You will be a happy chappy right now. Halftime hooter has just gone. Scotland are going to have one more chance. You're supposed to pour that extra on your head and yell Scotland. Yeah, that could be what it's for. Line out. You guys are not going try, so I feel like nothing's going to happen here. The maul is set. It's rumbling forward. McAnally's got it at the back. They've got advantage. Oh. They've knocked it on. Line out again. Barrett at 10 and Damien at 15 makes Bailey feel good. Pity Damien is injured. My wife is also a Damien McKenzie fan. Try incoming, says Paul. We will see. All right, another line out. Yeah, Steve Jackson is going to have to say something motivational at halftime. I'm observing the comments and seeing something of a theme here. I'm not going to count that chicken until it happens. Scotland line out. Maul drive. It's a meter away. They've got advantage. Another penalty. Another penalty? What are you guys talking about? No try. It's a penalty. My stream's not that far behind. They can't score that quickly. Try, no try. You guys, I can't be spoiled because I got no idea what's going on. This time Russell kicks it out instead of Hogg. Clock's gone to 42 minutes. Try, no try. That is the question. Drop goal, try, penalty, red card, yellow card. Scotland are mauling it again. McAnally's gone to ground. Laidlaw. Russell. He's close. A meter away. Scotland need the tries if they're going to get a bonus point. Surely you got to go for the try. Knock backwards. You guys are saying try. The Samoan defense is holding for the moment. try, halftime. 5 phases. Samoan defense is ironclad at the moment. Laidlaw is directing the troops. Quick hands. Harris got tackled. Bounce pass. Graham slips over. There can't be a try. Samoa penalty. You guys were having me on. All right. Oh, come on. Nana Williams didn't tap it before he kicked it, so they're going to play the line out. Come on, man. Everybody knows that now. That rule's been a thing for ages. Come on, man. Everybody knows that rule. How many years has that been? It's been for ages. Okay, they won the line out. Now kick it out. Kick it out. There we go. Nothing doing. Halftime. $20-0 at halftime. It's a long road ahead for Samoa. I'm trying to think, what did I actually pick for this one? See if I can find it. I really hope I didn't pick Samoa, says Ribsy. Yeah, I definitely picked Scotland. I picked Scotland by 13. So for my picks, I need Samoa to score a try. Samoa, please come back. They're going to need an inspirational chat at halftime. Not the best to watch, but Scotland will be happy with this. Yeah. There was definitely a pretty ordinary patch in the middle, but they're doing all right. Number 1 in Radio Sport Super Brew. I didn't even know Radio Sport did Super Brew. Samoa going to have some beers at halftime. Whatever makes them play better, they need to change something. I'll see if I can find the stats for halftime. What is the best AB starting 15 in your opinion? Tough question. Tough. I live in Australia. Who lives in Australia? There's a few Aussies here, man. Definitely a few Aussies. Halftime stats. Run meters. 287 Scotland. 102 Samoa. That's not ideal. Possession 57-43. Territory 65-35. That's pretty dominant. Tackling 86%. 70%. Tough. Thoughts on the squad the All Blacks named to play Canada? Yeah, I guess a good mix of experience and some changes, like the front row gets changed. Goodhue gets a game. Sonny Bill starts. They've retained the Bodie Mo'unga 10-15 combo because Steve Hansen said they need more time together, so we'll see how that goes. Chicken Wings. Hello, it's been a while since I've been on your stream. Welcome, man. Ruben, you are here, mate. It's 20-0 at halftime to Scotland. Who should play at 15 for the Box? LaRue, Harland, Stain, or maybe even Colby? I I would say that LaRue has not been in his best form. I do like Haaland, but like if you were playing a World Cup final right now, would I play Haaland at 15? I don't know. It's a hard call. Maybe Colby, because Colby can pretty much play anywhere. What's your margin prediction? I picked Scotland by 13, so they're doing better than I thought they would. What channel are you watching it on? I'm watching it on Spark Sport here in New Zealand. I'm streaming it. How was your daughter today? I think she was the one who wasn't feeling good. Yeah, I kept her home today, and I kept my son home as well. So for as much as I'm on annual leave, today was Daddy babysitting kids day, so it wasn't exactly relaxing. But yeah, she seems good. Took her to the doctor, got her checked out. She got clean bill of health, so she's all good. She had a big sleep. I had a wee nap. My son got to watch more TV than he usually gets to watch while I had a nap, so probably not the best parenting technique, but my dad was around to help out as well, so he couldn't get into any trouble. Show the TV. Bro, just buy the game, man. What are you, stupid? Come on. Ruben, we'll see if another Northern Hemisphere team struggles in the second half. That is a good point. If there's one thing that maybe goes into Samoa's favor, it's the climate. But then again, a lot of the Samoan guys play overseas too. If Samoa keep holding back, they might as well pack up now. They do need to pick it up in the second half. Definitely. What are we going to do tomorrow? There's no games on. Maction Planet is the other rugby YouTuber that shows the World Cup footage and his review videos. I can't see why Squitch can't show similar footage. That's interesting. Maybe they just haven't come across him. Does he get many views? Who do you think is going to win the Rugby World Cup? At the moment, the All Blacks are still definitely the favourites. You happy it's the school holidays? It doesn't make any difference to me, man. My kids are still too young for school. So, yeah. Less traffic on the roads, but I'm not going to work, so it doesn't really matter. Will I stream the All Blacks Canada game? Let's have a look at the fixtures for the coming days. Matches. France, USA, 8:45. That's a possible, because that's late enough that my kids should be in bed. And then All Blacks Canada, 11:15. I reckon you can probably lock that in, barring some kind of having to take the kids to the clinic. You can probably lock that one in because that's pretty late. So tomorrow is your actual day of leave with all the rugby. You know what sucks is that this block of leave that I booked, it's our annual performance evaluation time for my real job. So even though I'm on leave, I still have to fill out a bunch of performance and evaluations. So tomorrow, with no rugby on, I'm actually going to do some of my real work, which is painful. But it's my own fault for being disorganized and not getting it done earlier. Left it to the last minute. Are you going to have any more kids? No way. 2 and done. Happy October, everyone. It is October now in New Zealand. It is the 1st of October. Very cool. What's your real job? I work an office job at a uni in Auckland. Favorite try in the game so far? Laidlaw, man. Laidlaw. That guy doesn't get that many as far as I'm aware, although Maitland's one was pretty sweet as well. Yeah, procrastination is real. Procrastination is definitely real. Are you going to go to Crusaders v Blues at Eden Park in Feb? I haven't yet got my Blues membership yet. Are they even on sale yet? I probably will get one though. I'm a sucker like that. Samoa just needs some Vailima. I know. That's a nice beer. You play any video games, Modern Warfare or any rugby video games? I used to play video games pretty regularly. Then I had kids. And I don't do that much anymore. Yep. Go the Landers. Hopefully the Landers have a good season. Auckland aren't doing as well as last year. Yeah, Auckland are doing pretty poorly compared to last year, that's for sure. Where's the beer on the stream? The beer is here. They're just showing the Samoan team in the sheds. And they're all around Steve Jackson, who's given them a calm talking to, so he's not going aggro. Brumbies dropped their membership prices for next year. Now I've got to suffer living in Canberra. Might as well go to watch the Brumbies lose twice a month. You might as well, man. Buy that membership. I bet you the Blues membership prices are up. They're not going to be down. Are you going to do a team of the week video for the World Cup? I think I'll do a team of the pool stages video once everyone's played the same amount of games. I think that's the plan. Sorry, I doubted you bottoms up. Cheers, man. Samoa needs to put in some hits. Keep it clean, though. Put the fear into the Scots. They do need to put in some hits. Do you think Bowden Barrett will play 10 or 12 for the Blues? I think 10. Beer number is only number 2. Closest team here is the Lions in Johannesburg. It's way too unsafe, so TV will do. Is that right? That's unfortunate, man. Whenever we go to the Blues games, we park up at my mum's work because she works not far from Eden Park, and then walk like 10 minutes to the stadium. So, yeah. Samoa needs to stop knocking on the ball and missing tackles, but Samoa just still the legends. Yeah, man, they need to improve in the second half. Hopefully they can pick it up. Every time Samoa try to put fear into their opponents, they always end up with 2 or 3 yellow cards. Yeah, you got to keep that balance of putting in the hits but keeping it clean. If you have to walk 10 minutes to Ellis Park, you will get mugged 90% of the time, no doubt. Is that real? Is that true? I'm never sure how much of that's exaggerated and how much of that's real. Good job done. Don't spam. Don't spam is definitely good advice. Thoughts on the Hurricane signing Danny Cipriani? Is that a thing? That can't be a thing. What about Karevi looking to play NRL because of yesterday? I get that he's frustrated, That's for sure. Everyone gets mugged in Ellis Park. True. It's definitely real. Ellis Park is one of the worst areas of Joburg. Is that right? Damn. So how do people get to the games then? Because they usually get decent crowds. Danny Cipriani wouldn't make the reserve bench for Southland. Come on, man. Danny Cipriani was player of the season in the Premiership. Give that guy some props. I'll be back in 2 minutes. Bathroom break. Just in time for the second half. Try. You guys are kidding me again. For me, the second half has just kicked off. 20 points to 0. Can't be a try. No. How many handling errors have there been already? I'm not actually sure. A lot. ESPN just calls them turnovers conceded. Yeah, and it's quite a few. Turnovers conceded could be anything, though. It could be getting turned over. It could be line-out errors, lots of stuff. Are you using Spark? Yes. Using Spark. But like I said before, my experience hasn't been too bad. For the most part, pretty good. Who's winning? Scotland, 20-0. Scoreless first half from Samoa. Oh, man. Samoa need to get some phases. But Scotland's defense looks so far up to the task. We'll see how they do with their fitness. Man, bounces the ball. Unfortunate for Samoa. Okay, Samoa in the second half have actually started relatively, refreshingly good. They're putting a bit of pressure on Scotland, which is not good for Craig, but good for the game. And then they have given away a penalty. You have to drink every time someone asks you to show us the game. Nah. Then people would do that on purpose, Big Will. I spent a bit of time in South Africa, absolutely wonderful country, but I'd be lying if I wasn't really aware of where I was and paying very careful attention. Is that right? I know when I was in China, I was definitely very more wary of pickpockets because that's a thing in China more so than here. Here, people mug you. They don't pickpocket you. I think you'd probably rather be pickpocketed than be mugged, but hey, definitely more aware in like train stations and bus stations and stuff, just when there's a big crowd, to keep an eye on your belongings. News makes it look worse than it is. Yeah. And one of my workmates is originally from South Africa. He's been in New Zealand for a long time, but he went back to South Africa recently to Port Elizabeth and to Cape Town, and he didn't mention it being all that bad for a guy who's been in New Zealand for like 10 plus years. Yeah, pickpocketing is just, it's just a pain. I mean, you can lose your stuff, but it's better than getting your face punched in, that's for sure. Auckland, you get stepped out at the train stations by big groups of people. That has never happened to me, fortunately. Cape Town is fine. Joburg is quite bad. Okay. Traveling to South Africa this month. Wonderful country. Pity about the politics. Politics everywhere is pretty horrendous. Should Franz stay and be the number 12 for the box? He was actually a bit quicker than I thought in that last game against Namibia. I thought he was a bit slower, but he showed a wee bit of toe. Probably the best place for a game is Loftus in Pretoria, although I'm biased since I'm a Bull. Okay. I would like to go to Loftus. It's a pity it's always quite empty recently, but that's just a statement that's true of all the Super Rugby stadiums, not just Loftus. Samoa just won a scrum penalty. London has a huge knife problem. Yeah, I don't think that's a big one in Auckland. People, not that I know of, people don't get knifed or shot, but they get punched. Why is it the Super Rugby doesn't pull in many big crowds? I think they kind of stuffed it up by adding too many teams. It got very lacking in competitiveness. People stopped going. That combined with the fact that a lot of people would rather sit at home, watch Netflix or play on their phone or do something else other than get out and go to a game. The food at the game is pretty crap and it's expensive. The tickets are expensive. A combination of things, man. The product wasn't that great. The experience wasn't that great. And there's so many other things to do nowadays. Probably all those things combined. Oh, man. Samoa's got advantage. Samoa are fired up in the second half. But just the execution is letting them down a wee bit. Rugby popularity has taken a hit in South Africa and Australia as well. Yeah. I think generally sports, and it's not limited to rugby, are suffering a wee bit just with so many other options for people now rather than just going to sports. So that's part of it. That's why, at least when I see all the things coming from America, they're always about building new stadiums which are flash and have all the mod cons so that people can still, like if you wanted to go to a game and literally just play with your phone and get like a gluten-free this, that, the other, you can do it. rather than go to Eden Park and you have to buy like a $9 pie and one kind of beer on sale, that kind of thing. Super Rugby, yeah, that's true. The Sunwolves get fantastic crowds. They put all the rest of us to shame with the crowds, man. None of the New Zealand teams sell their games out. None of the South African teams sell their games out. And none of the Australian teams sell their games out. The Jaguars' attendance is average. Yeah, you're right. It's only the Sunwolves. Rugby in Australia expanded to Perth and Melbourne. They spent all the money there but couldn't build teams that were competitive. It weakened the teams we had. Now they all suck. I was for the expansion, but then again, you're probably right that it did spread the pool a bit too thin. And you're right, Craig. Scotland do certainly need some ball this second half. Crusaders need a new stadium ASAP. I've heard the one there is pretty much just basically scaffolding around the park, which is pretty bad. You wouldn't even know there's a World Cup on thanks to Spark. The fact that the rugby is on behind a paywall in New Zealand is pretty sucky. To be fair, many AFL Rugby League matches in Australia also have low attendances in recent years. Okay. But yeah, I really think that's a thing across sports in general. It's just people are less willing to go out to a sports game nowadays because, again, why go out when you can stay home? Prices for kids at FMG isn't too bad. I'd take both kids, but my son has no interest in going to a game live. Taking my daughter about 4 or 5 games plus an AB's game. I remember going to games as a kid. My dad just took me to cricket and rugby, and I've seen other kids do it. My kids are probably still a bit too young to go to the games, but when I was a kid, I hardly watched the game, and I wanted to play. And again, that's probably the kind of thing they need to accommodate a wee bit. It needs to be more the match day experience stuff, not just the on-the-field product that they need to promote. Because casual fans, kids, they need other stuff to do. You feel ripped off at the stadium when you're stuck in a mob and can't leave. Yeah, or if you're at Eden Park and you leave 5 minutes early so you beat the traffic. Because why would you want to stay to the end of the game? That being said, one game a year for the Blues, they always give away free potatoes. When it's potato night, you're damn right I leave a minute early. Someone needs to stop making Scotland scoring penalties. Yeah, someone needs to be the next team on the board. That is true. You guys complaining about the tickets, try buying a Coca-Cola at a rugby venue. Yeah, everything's overpriced. And I don't know them like the margins that they have to employ the staff to sell all that stuff, but I feel like it's like how movie theaters don't make much off the tickets anymore, so they really have to try and rip you off with all the food and drink. Seems to be the same thing at rugby venues. I don't know what it's like in the rest of the world, but generally you've got like 1 or maybe 2 beers you can buy from. They're expensive, and all the food and soft drink is also very expensive. I did hear they like a spot at the Blues. Yeah, one of the Blues' major sponsors is a potato producer, so we get free potatoes. Sporting events are big rip-offs, but the Canadians in ice hockey fall for it. It's a weird thing. Like, I've seen some of the prices for hockey tickets in Canada and America for the NHL. The Canadian ones always seem to sell out, and the prices are horrendous. I don't know how people can afford to go. It's the same with a lot of sport events like the Breakers, $10 for wedges. Yeah, I mean, I guess if you go to a bar, you're probably paying that as well. So at least generally, if you go to a bar, you're going to get hopefully better quality than what you get at the rugby, which is usually like real basic, but they charge you an arm and a leg. You should try visiting Twickenham. You need to remortgage the house. I have heard that the stuff at Twickenham's pretty pricey. You get a spud and you get a spud. Everyone gets a spud. They literally have a truck full of spuds and they don't even check. You just line up, you go in there, you grab a bag of spuds and you're on your way. Although 2018, it was 5 kilos of spuds. This year was 2.5. So they're giving you less spud. But it was supposedly a higher quality spud. It was the fancy spuds, if there is such a thing. How's the second half looking? Samoa have looked better, although Scotland in the last couple of minutes have been back in control, and they have just won a scrum penalty. I'd love to watch a game at Twickenham. Yeah, man, I haven't been to any of those grounds. A fancy spud, yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. But apparently it's a thing. Penalty for Scotland, 10 meters out in front of the post. Yeah, but they probably want tries, right? Are they going to take the points? You should watch Sevens at Cape Town. The stadium atmosphere is amazing. It used to be like that in Wellington, not that I went. But then it kind of died off as I think because it was a real part of party and carnival atmosphere. But every year they kind of tighten some of the regulations about you can't do this, you can't drink that much, can't sit here and do this, family only zone and whatnot. So it all became a bit restrictive, so people stopped going. It's a slow game. Yeah. I just came halfway through the Spud story. I'm so confused. We were talking about potatoes. They give them away at Blues games once a season. So if you are going to go to one Blues game, pick the game where they give away free potatoes. Hong Kong Sevens this year was epic. Yeah, Hong Kong ones are often pretty good. Once I get a credit or debit card, I'll donate 50 or maybe 100. Bro, no pressure to donate nothing. If you donate, you donate. If you join along for the stream, it's all good. I appreciate it when people do, but obviously I know not everyone can, so that's not a thing. Oh, Scotland. You can't pass that high to Darcy Graham. He's not a big man. I do love me some free potatoes. Exactly, man. Who doesn't? Like, I stay in my seat until the final whistle for every game except Spud game. I start making my way to the side of the stadium which has the potatoes. I live in Hong Kong. The Sevens is definitely more of a party carnival event. Yes, that's what Wellington used to be, and then they tried to take themselves too seriously, and it ruined it. So then they had to move it to Hamilton, and I think Hamilton did a better job because they learned lessons from Wellington's mistakes. So yeah. Ireland needs Scotland to beat Japan in their final game by more than 7 points in order for Ireland to top the group, or Japan not to pick up a bonus point in the remaining games. Yeah, the maths of this pool A is getting pretty tricky. Scotland certainly want to get a bonus point here, but Samoa aren't going to make it easy. Hong Kong is amazing, so international. Yeah, I've only ever been to Hong Kong's airport. And I realize I can't understand any Cantonese, except for when they say, hey, you look tall. That I can understand because it sounds like the Mandarin. Because it's the Blues, you play like potatoes. Yeah. Trust the Blues to have a potato sponsor, huh? Do you speak Mandarin? Yeah, man, I do. I lived in China like 7 years. Blues and Chiefs will be dangerous, Nick. Yeah, I don't know, man. We say that about the Blues every year, and they never do anything. Will Scotland finally score? A maul is rumbling. It's 4 meters out, 3 meters out, 2 meters out, over the line. Scotland are claiming a try. The referee is just looking around, and he calls for the timeout. Was there a World Cup video game this year? I think they did make one, but I reckon it'll be garbage. They made one for the last one, and it was like a new skin on Rugby 08, and they just made it worse. This is the commentary that we really need. Yeah, the ref's just, he's bemused. Do my kids play video games? Nah, still a bit young. My son plays some of those apps on the phones that's like learning letters and numbers and stuff, but not really any proper games. I don't let him have too much screen time. I mean, he's watched a bit of TV today, but, nothing too major. The game is coming out in December 2019. That's a bit late, eh? You'd think you'd want to be releasing it right now during the tournament. They didn't get the ball down, that's for sure, but was it legal? Education games. Yeah, sucks to be my kids, right? All you get is those damn education games. In at the side, prevented a try. It's going to be a penalty try. Is it going to be a penalty try and a yellow card? What video games did you used to play? Bro, I used to play so many. Uh-oh, that is a card. $27-0. Red Dead Redemption is the best video game. Yeah, I played a fair bit of Red Dead Redemption. You spend a whole lot of time looking at a horse's ass. That's for sure. But that's a good game. I never played 2, but I will one day. But I just don't play any games anymore. What's the score? It's 27-0 to Scotland after 57 minutes. Scotland need one more for the bonus point. Samoa could use any points right now. My ass has to be so. No, my ass is all good. I'm sitting on carpet, so not a big deal. Craig, £7 for the yellow card. Damn, man. Cheers, Craig. I hope you're enjoying this one more than you enjoyed the Ireland game with Scotland. So you guys are one try away from getting the maximum. So cheers, Craig. Thank you for the tip, man. I appreciate it. I will stream the All Blacks Canada game, assuming I'm free. At 11:15, I should be free. The only thing that would stop me is if one of my kids needs to go to the clinic, which is pretty rare. So let's hope that doesn't happen. Should Samoa start a fight? See, that's an interesting. If you've ever watched ice hockey, that sometimes when a team is losing, one of the guys just deliberately starts a fight, and if he wins the fight, his team kind of gets motivated, and then they play well. But that's kind of frowned upon in virtually every other sport, including rugby. I got a bonus point going for going into work yesterday. Cheers, bro. Bayek. Nice. Can the Blues be in the fight next year? No. No. I'm too long in the tooth as a Blues fan to have any hope that we're going to do anything special next year. I'm falling for it. I'll still buy a season ticket because I'm an idiot, but yeah, no, they're gonna be up before the playoffs. Ice hockey sounds far more fun than rugby. It's a good sport. A lot of stoppages, though. I mean, rugby has as well, but they have like TV timeouts and stuff, which is sometimes a bit of a pain. Did you watch the new Dan Carter movie? No, I didn't see it. I didn't see it. Perfect 10. They really stay 1v1 in rugby. Yeah, in rugby, when there's a fight, the whole team has to jump in. Whereas in hockey, it is a mano-a-mano thing. It's in the rules. As a non-Kiwi, I don't understand why the Blues are so bad. Nobody understands why the Blues are so bad, man. They can get in new coaches. They can get in good players. It doesn't seem to matter. The fact that they've never had a proper Class 10, they do now with Bowden, but he hasn't played yet, is the most common excuse. So we'll soon put that to the test. Score 27-0 to Scotland. 1 hour gone. Samoa have got a yellow card for about the next 6 minutes. Did Benji Marshall play for the Blues? Don't remind me. That was horrendous. That was when the Blues management was just like, hey, we need to sign players with big names instead of guys who are actually talented, because that's a good way to get bums on seats. Why not just get a winning team instead? What's the DC movie called? You Can't Tackle Me, mate. Yeah, I think that's what Andrew Horse said, right? Are we not allowed to tackle Dan Carter? Is it possible that the Blues being bad is your fault? I think the only thing they haven't tried jinxing another team. Maybe I should support another team and see if that does the trick. But I don't think it's me. I think something's rotten at the Blues. Man, Scotland are on the attack. 3 meters out. They need that bonus point. Benji is a better league player. Yeah, I think he thought he was going to suddenly walk back to rugby, which he hadn't played since high school, and make the World Cup squad. But yeah, it didn't happen. He was pretty crap and then went back to league. But from what John Kerwin said, he didn't pick him. He was kind of forced upon him by management. And again, management wanted a big-name player. Is there going to be a try? Or is it going to be a knock-on? Oh, it is a knock-on. Damn. The Blues have a tough pool every year. They do have the New Zealand Conference, which is tough. But, yeah, no excuses, man. That is not the best team. Benji was so bad that I forgot he played for the Blues. I wish I could forget. Can Scotland still get number one in Pool A? I think they need Japan to lose to somebody else. So, yeah, potentially. Whoa, they just need to beat Japan, I guess. That would make sense. I don't know. I haven't checked the numbers on the pool, but nobody's lost more than a game, so maybe. First nil score of the Rugby World Cup. I still hope Samoa can get some points out of this game. They're down the wrong end of the field for it right now. It's a pity as well because they've got a fair few talented players, but it's just not gone their way. They're trying to run it out instead of kicking it. I'm a proud bandwagons Crusaders fan. There's a few of them. A lot of people like the Crusaders. They're just a class team, man. Their whole operation is good. It would help Scotland if it comes down to points difference. Bring back Adrian Cashmore. Damn, that's a blast from the past. Adrian Cashmore. I haven't been to Auckland in ages. Do you guys still have those fish and chip shops that are also Chinese restaurants? Yeah, everywhere. Come on, there's one like 2 minutes drive from my house. 2 of them, actually. That's the shop where the guy recognized me. The first guy ever to recognize me was at one of those shops. He's a white dude that works at a Chinese fish and chip shop, Chinese restaurant. I think he's married to one of the girls there. That guy's the first guy to recognize me. To be honest, I don't think the talent is the issue with Samoan rugby, but rather the administration is. Yes, you might be right. Yes, they even have those in the Tron. Yeah. I think maybe that's a New Zealand thing. What should the Box do with Scott Brits? I heard they want to play him at center or make him assistant coach. Put him anywhere. The guy will do a job, man. Put him on the wing. He will do a job. How often do people recognize you? Pretty rarely. I think I can count on one hand the number of times I've been recognized. Samuel's game, one guy. restaurant guy who didn't recognize me the second time I saw him, which was hilarious. Kind of embarrassing, seeing as I talked to him like an old mate. Guy at the supermarket, one other guy at a Blues game. So I think, 4 times. So it's pretty rare. My wife knows me. My wife does know me, thankfully. She hasn't forgotten me. Man, this game needs a try. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. My eyes are getting heavy. Come on, team. Should Tier 1 be made to play with 14, 13, 12 against Tier 2? Might be interesting to see. I wonder which position they would sacrifice. One less flanker? You deserve a lot of subs. Man, I already have a lot more than I thought I would ever have. Thalthal was awesome for sure. Got any funny jokes to liven up the match? If I see you at the Blues, I'll come up to you. Okay, man. Welcome. Funny jokes. Score is still 27-0 after 65 minutes. I can't think of any jokes at 1 o'clock in the morning. Who's playing? Good question. 8 and then a center, then a 15. Okay. It's all about the bonus point now. The bonus point is the key point of this match at the moment. Can't see Samoa coming back from this. Yeah, they haven't even really looked like scoring. So despite a kind of early flurry in the second half, it's kind of petered out a bit. What do you call a sheep with no legs? What do you call a sheep with no legs? A cloud. Ha! Even at 1 o'clock in the morning. That's not too bad. I'll tell that one to my son and see if he gets it. I'm going to go to bed. Can't be bothered watching this blowout, this stream though. Okay, cheers, buddy. Have a good night. It is getting pretty late. There's been another knock on, so I don't blame you. Too many Samoan players wanting to play for the ABs rather than Samoa. You could be right, man. Be nice if some of those guys who have played less than 10 caps for Tier 1 teams could go play back for other teams. What did the Climbers call their kid? Cliff. Oh, ha, 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 ha. Damn, Joe. You must be a dad because you got all the dad jokes. I need to learn some of those. I'm a dad, so I need to learn the dad jokes too. Favorite rugby game ever? Are we talking game to watch? Just joined. What's the score now? It's 27-0 to Scotland. 13 minutes to go. 12 minutes to go. Joe's House of Rugby did a special on Thalthal last month. He's a lovely bloke. Sad story. Yeah, they did a thing on him on YouTube as well about how he's like back in his village now. He's like he built a house, but I think somehow he managed to blow most of his money, as you do when you come into money easily as a young man traveling the world and whatnot. So, yeah, that was pretty sad. I think I saw part of that. In Brackpan, the high school comes out before the pro. Oh, man, come on. Is that a joke? This game is the joke. Feel sorry for the crowd. Oh, no, the crowd are kind of clapping away. Brilliant atmosphere, the commentator has literally just said on my stream. Joel Stransky. What was the worst rugby game ever? I seem to remember watching a game in 2018 between the Jaguares and the Reds in Argentina, and it was bad. It's left a lasting impression on me that it was that bad. It was worse than this game, for sure. And this game's not been that pretty. Yeah, baby, the Reds can be truly terrible. Yeah, that game was pretty bad. And actually, another game, when I'm thinking of bad games, I remember the Blues a few years ago, the one that put me off Andrew Reedy. That game was really bad. Full of handling errors. The Blues scrum was getting smashed. It was basically the Blues would attack, eventually knock it on. There would be a scrum. The Reds would win the scrum penalty. They would kick it, attack for a little bit. The Blues would get the ball, attack them back, and it was just rinse and repeat, repeat, repeat. Ended up as a draw. A draw after all that. The Blues took a draw at the end with a penalty. Wales, Australia 2018 was horrendous. It was a good display of defence, though. Wasn't a try-scoring match, that's for sure. Can Scotland get a bonus point try before this game is done? Can Samoa get any points before this game is done? Sunwolves, Reds and May was pretty bad. 5 cards, none of them even for foul play, just lazy footy. Yeah, I might have blocked that game. That doesn't register. The Reds won that one, right? Oh, Big Will. Come on, man. It made me chuckle a little bit. How many minutes left? I'm at 71 minutes and 15 seconds. Samoa have gone 7 phases. They're in the Scottish 22. They're about 10 meters from the goal line. 9 phases. 10 phases. No advantage. So they're going back for an offside penalty. If you can call that winning, that's what they did. True. South Africa losing 57-0 was the worst game I've watched. Yeah, that wasn't a pretty one. It's hard to believe South Africa were that bad such a short time ago, but they're a different team now. Do you like Harry Plummer? He's not the best goal kicker in the world, but he's all right. I don't think he's the answer to the Blues' problems. Oh, my. I don't know what to say, man. Samoa finally built some pressure, if you haven't seen this. Finally built some pressure, won a penalty, had a chance from 15 meters to kick for touch to get like an approximately 5 meter line out, and they kicked it dead. Kicked it dead. God's sake, man. Come on. That's just this game in a nutshell, isn't it? You guys are saying something's about to happen? I'm not sure I believe it. The Blade Runner. Blade Thompson just ran the ball, and the commentator literally just called him Blade Runner. Did he get that down? Or did he drop it? Why is Maitland wearing a jersey with no number on the back? How long has that been a thing? No try. Dropped. It looked bad on first viewing. Yeah, he looks short. No try. I've only seen it once, full speed, and it didn't look like a try. He looks a bit sore at the moment. TMO is going to have a look. What? Did he seriously tackle him with his legs? Uh-oh. I don't know that I've seen a tackle like that before. He might have been trying to pull out of it. You got to go. That was dumb. Yeah. How stupid. Yeah, kind of. Confirmed yellow card and penalty. Okay. I think the TMO said something about he lost control of it before he got hit, but still, you can't be doing that. It's called the knees in tackle styles. Yeah, cool. All right, man. Yeah, this game's pretty much just petering out. You take it easy. Oos. Right. I've got to see this replay one more time. Yellow card, red card, penalty try. That's how it goes. That's the bonus point, though, for sure. So weird game, man. This one's been weird. Yeah, how many games do you miss after a red? I think it's usually like 3, right? So that'll be him done for the World Cup. Yeah, the commentator on my stream was also saying he lost control of it before he got the legs into him, but from what I just saw, he was sliding in for the line and then the legs hit him, so that's why he lost it. That's the way I saw it. Worst game for Samoa. Yeah, this is about as bad as it gets. I think most of us expected them to be better than this. This is very disappointing. I mean, it's not being convincing from Scotland, but again, it's job done. That's what you need if you're going to be one of the top teams, is to be able to get the result you need even when you're not playing at 100%. Oh, no, Williams just stopped a try there. At least he's still playing. Man of the match, the ref. I guess he's had an influence on the game. I'm in Germany. Where can I watch the match? Use the VPN, bro. Oh, Samoa can't score. This game is hilarious. It's hilarious, but not for the right reasons. It's not been a classic. I like to think if I wasn't streaming this one with you guys, I would probably still watch the whole thing, but no guarantees. I may have gone to bed already. Turned it off after the last try. I've got 2 minutes left. Then my bed is calling me. It's 1:30 a.m. Yeah, it's 1:15. This is the first bad game about the World Cup. Yeah, you're probably right, man. Everything else has been pretty entertaining. So I'm probably going to keep this game's review pretty short. But I mean, the crux of it is going to be Samoa disappoint. Reffing is a factor, and Scotland keep themselves alive. So USA France is going ahead according to the news. Okay, that's very good news. Samoan Rugby Board should resign. I don't know what goes on internally with the rugby over there, but it always gets bad press anyway. With any luck, your son won't wake up too early. Mine too, Jasmine. Mine too. I hope he sleeps late. Poor game, Scotland bonus point win, so I'm delighted. Yeah, I mean, that's the sign of a team that's doing all right, is when you can play pretty average and still get a top result. So they'll take this all the way to the bank. It's late. See you on the next stream. All right, man. Take it easy. Corruption is the main problem. You might be right, man. 10 p.m. in Brisbane. I'm going to bed shortly. Plus, Sheamus is under the cold side of the bed. Sounds like a man with experience. I woke my daughter up when I was doing the Wales thing last night. Oh, my Lord. That was horrendous. I swear she was up from about the end of that game for the next 2.5 hours. I managed to get the video done, but she was like dancing and singing and crying and just, oh, my Lord. It was a testing time to be a parent. Your bed is on 3. Got the electric blanket on. Nice work. 40 seconds to go, people, and then we can all go to bed or go to have lunch or go have a beer or whatever it is. I can't believe I watched the whole thing. Me too, man. But I'm glad you guys are here with me. Otherwise, I may have struggled at 1:18 a.m. Gotta love kids, man. Yeah, it's what they do. And keep it up. I will try my best. When they get to almost teens, tell them to go to bed or no devices for a year. Yeah, okay. Right, the hooter has gone. Samoa win the line out. They're mauling it up. It's going nowhere. The ref's joining in. Once. First warning to use it. And now it's moving up again. Samoa are going to get a goose egg. They might be the first team to not score any points. They're using it. They're giving it to the backs. Leua. Oh, man, they're only 4 meters away. Come on, Samoa. Finish it with a bit of flair. Pride in the jersey. Duncan Taylor with a tackle. Come on, guys. There's nobody out there. There's literally nobody out there on that wing. You guys are telling me they have the goose egg. Scotland win the penalty. That's it. Good job for Scotland to get the clean sheet. That's impressive. But yeah, I've seen better games of rugby than this one. My notes are going to be pretty vague. Thanks for keeping me company, guys. Craig, you're a happy man. Scotland fan. But yeah. I'm gonna go. Hopefully on Wednesday I can stream at least one of those games, probably Canada, New Zealand, but maybe even the one before. We'll see how we go. But yeah, cheers, guys. And I'm going to quickly get this review done, run to bed, and then hope my kids sleep very late. But yes, cheers, guys. It was a bit of a laugh for this stream. I know we got distracted, but sometimes the game wasn't giving us enough. So, yep. Talk to you guys next time. Cheers, Paul. See you guys. See you next time.